All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're not just talking about branding. We're actually building the blueprint for a brand that can withstand, well, pretty much anything. We're going to break down the 5 pillars of an unbreakable brand.
So let's start with a really tough question, one that I'm sure keeps a lot of entrepreneurs up at night. Why is it that so many new businesses just fizzle out? You see them start with so much promise, but they fail within a few years. Is it just about luck? Maybe the competition was just too fierce? The hard truth is, most of the time, it's not really about any of those things. The failure doesn't come from some big, bad storm outside. Nope, it comes from the inside, from these tiny cracks in the very foundation of the brand itself. But here's the good news. That foundation, it's not something you just hope for. It's something you can engineer. And today, we're handing you that exact blueprint. We're going to build a brand together right now, step by step, pillar by pillar. One that's designed not just to survive, but to absolutely thrive. So where do we start? Well, you can't build a house without knowing what materials you're using, right? So let's lay that first cornerstone. We're talking about pillar number 1, the brand's soul. This is all about its fundamental DNA. So what on earth is brand DNA? Look, it's not your logo, it's not your cool color scheme. Think of it as the internal, unchangeable genetic code of your business. It's that gut feeling. It's the core of who you are, especially when no one's watching. Now, this might sound a little abstract, but we can actually break it down into 4 really solid parts. First, your mission. That's what you do every single day. Then, your vision. That's the big dream, where you're headed. Third, your values. These are your non-negotiables, the hills you'll die on. And finally, your personality. That's how you talk, how you sound, your unique voice. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly illustrates the power of having a strong DNA. I mean, think about it for a second. If you stripped away your logo, your name, all the visual stuff, would your customers still feel you? Would they recognize that it's you? A powerful brand soul is an experience. It's not just something you see. Okay, let's make this real for a second. I want you to pause and really think. Whether you've got a full-blown business or just a tiny idea simmering, what is the one single value that is absolutely non-negotiable for you? Drop it in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you all stand for. Awesome. So now we've figured out our soul, our DNA, but a soul needs a body, right? It needs a place in the world. This brings us straight to pillar number 2, finding your place to stand by mastering brand positioning. Now, when we talk about positioning, we're not talking about shelf space in a supermarket. We're talking about real estate in someone's mind. It is the art of carving out a unique, valuable, and this is key, memorable spot in the super crowded brain of your ideal customer. And here's the big strategic secret. Stop trying so hard to be just a little bit better than your competitor. That is a losing game. The real win is finding what we call white space. That untouched, unoccupied territory on the market map where you can be the only one. The goal isn't to be better, it's to be totally different. I absolutely love this quote because it makes it so simple. Just look around at what everyone else in your space is doing. Are they all screaming about low prices? Great. Then you zag and compete on incredible customer service. Are they all about speed? You zag and focus on meticulous craftsmanship. Find that zag. Okay, so we know who we are and we know where we want to stand. But to find that perfect zag, you've got to be able to read the map of the world around you. And that brings us to pillar 3, decoding the environment through some seriously sharp analysis. Now, this might sound a little academic, but trust me, it's one of the most practical tools you can have. Semiotics is basically the study of unspoken language. Why does the color green instantly make us think of nature or health? Why does a certain font feel luxurious while another feels playful? Understanding these subconscious cultural cues gives you a massive strategic advantage. This is a perfect example of talking to the brain versus talking to the heart. Your unique selling proposition, or USP, is the technical what. It's a fact. Our sneaker has carbon fiber. Okay, cool. But your unique value proposition, the UVP, that's the emotional why. That's the benefit. It's so light you'll feel like you're running on air. People don't buy the carbon fiber. They buy the feeling. So we have our soul, we have our position on the map, and we understand the terrain. It's time to get practical because, let's be honest, a strategy without a plan for execution is just a daydream. Pillar 4 is where we chart the course by setting real, tangible objectives. Let's just look at the huge difference here.
A wish is vague. A goal is precise. I want more website traffic. That's a wish. It's nice, but what does it mean? Now, increase unique website visitors by 20% in the third quarter. That's a goal. That's a target you can actually aim for and hit. And the magic trick for turning those fuzzy wishes into sharp goals is this, the SMART framework. Your goal has to be specific, so you know exactly what you're doing. It has to be measurable, so you can tell if you actually did it. Achievable, so you're not setting yourself up to fail. Relevant, so it actually matters to your business. And time-bound, which creates that little bit of urgency to get it done. All right, we've set our course, we're on our way. But how do we know if we're actually on track? A pilot can't fly a plane without looking at the instruments. And that's what our fifth and final pillar is all about. Checking the dashboard and measuring what truly, truly matters. You know, it is so easy to get distracted by what we call vanity metrics. Things like likes, followers, page views. They look good, they feel good, they stroke the ego, but they don't pay the bills. Actionable metrics, like how much it actually costs you to get a new customer, those are the real vital signs of your business's health. Really, it all boils down to this one simple golden rule. For your business to actually last, the total amount of money a customer brings you over their entire relationship with you, their lifetime value, or LTV, has to be bigger than what it cost you to get them in the door in the first place, your cost per acquisition, or CPA. If it costs you $10 in ads to get one customer, and they only ever buy an $8 item, you're losing money. It's that simple. Okay, last call for interaction. I want you to forget all the vanity stats for a moment. What is the one single actionable key performance indicator, or KPI, that would tell you if your project is truly succeeding? Share that one metric in the comments. Let's get focused together. And there you have it, the brand soul, which tells you where to find your place to stand. Your analysis of the environment, which shows you the smartest path forward. A course charted by SMART goals, and the dashboard to make sure you're on track. See? These aren't just 5 separate ideas. They are 5 deeply interconnected pillars that form one single powerful blueprint. So we'll leave you with this final thought. We've just handed you the blueprint for an unbreakable brand. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?